started my watch list from here. Um, I did like, what is it? They have like different sections you can break your stocks in,
Okay.
basically. So like the ones that I currently own, I only own a share each in these two.
Okay.
Mankind Corporation and AMC, because I started my stuff with Robinhood, so
Okay.
they give free stocks for a free share of each stock.
Yes, sir.
What is it? Referring someone.
hmm
So I'm looking at those two, of course, because I got a share each for those for
Okay.
I think 2 weeks now.
Okay.
So I plotted my little support and resistance line from what I could see. From these two currently. The Mankind Corporation, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're like health technology, biotech
Okay.
corporation. So it seemed pretty interesting from what I've been looking at with them.
Okay.
Their stock's been pretty level around the $2-ish mark, 2.8 around here. But around because I've been doing it from like a year, just looking for the past year, what's been going on. They've been floating around this $1.99 to $2 mark ish in this way. And then around March, May, when they were down here to like $1.20
Okay.
ish range.
Okay.
So I'm just looking at these for this one, trying to figure out what they might be doing going forward. They seem like they're going up because I see an upward trend going between March of during COVID and then now. So it seems like it's a good little stock right now, but just have to keep a watch on it.
So let's talk about go back to Mankind. Yeah. So tell me, why did you draw your support and resistance lines? Why did you draw them? Where you drew them, and just give me the justification, for it.
Yeah. So I guess for this one, I saw that for like this, I guess support and resistance line, depending on like how you're looking at it.
Okay.
This $2 mark is kind of basically what I saw was that's what they kind of stayed in a sense. It broke the support line, I guess, in a sense.
Okay.
In June, it went up and then went back down. Kind of stayed around here, this $1.60, $1.50 range.
Yes, sir.
Then got back up to the $2 range and broke a little bit, and then came down, and then came back up. So, in a sense, I guess you could have put like another line here if I wanted to, because it kind of came down and stayed for a little bit, the $1.55. So I guess I could do like, is it like this kind of deal ish, because it kind of stayed for right there for a little bit, and then came back up, and then come back down to the $1.50 since September, basically. Does that make sense?
Yes, actually, and great where you talk through that and you put that line there, because that is definitely a support area right there that you drew. And actually, if you do, so just highlight your cursor over that line you just drew. Yeah, just make it even with the line. Yep. Okay. Now do a Alt, hold down the Alt key and do H.
H.
All right, and so it'll draw a horizontal line all the way through. And the reason for that is, so look to the left of where you drew that line back to 2020. You see how some of those areas actually come into play, where that was a previous support area, not to the very highs, but to an area. And then as well as toward the end of May, you can see that it got up there that first time, and then it broke back down, and then it came up to it again and finally broke through right there.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I would have drew that line there. And okay, so talk to me about your other line. So we covered those two there. Talk to me about
Yes.
the rest
Those
of the line.
two there. This one, what was this? The $1.20 ish
Mm-hmm.
line.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of support, kind of resistance in the sense of after February, of course, COVID, so it went all the way down. It broke through this line
Mm-hmm.
and went down to like 80 something cent, basically around March,
Yeah.
and then came back up, and then kind of stayed around this in April. This like dollar-ish to $1.42, $1.20 to $1.42 range, but kept coming back to this $1.20 range, and then afterwards it came back, it went up and didn't come back, basically.
Yes. Yes.
So that's kind of how I looked at that one, is that it kind of was like a somewhat support, but more so resistance, since it broke through and went back through that line within, like basically 2 months ish.
Yeah. So do me a favor, do the same thing to that line. All H it. So all H just horizontal line. Now I don't see it in your. Okay, click on you see down at the bottom where it says 5 year. Yep, click on 5 year. Mm-hmm. All right. So now, do you see that line that you just drew? How it's close to running, sideways, and it's hitting some larger points of reference on your chart. So that's why you draw support and resistance line, because what you want to do, you want to take the history of things that has happened in the past and use that data to help you as you make decisions upon what you think the stock can do in the future, because those are previous points that that are there, and so it helps.
Okay.
Yeah. But good point. So go back to your I don't know if you were on a 1 year.
I think it was on the 1 year. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's good. Now I probably would draw another. Well, okay. Finish your other lines before I.
I guess the only other line that I drew was this one.
Okay.
Around the $1.39 range, and that's just it. All right, what? Around December 2019, stayed around $1.20 something, and then up to this range, broke through basically both those lines, but came back down and kind of stayed around this dollar.
Now, do me a favor, draw that same horizontal line right there.
And just do the
all H. Now, and the reason for that, look at where that area that you drew your line at, but then go to the right between May and June, and you'll see that same area that served as support back in where your line was drawn, it's also there as well. So you see how these areas, how they revisit them, and they give you clues around kind of the history of where you are, and if you can use that data to make decisions around should you buy or sell. So that's really what the support resistance stuff is here to help you on. And so now on your line at the $2 level, the only thing I would say is I would raise that up. Just click on it and move it up. Keep going up. Yep, to right. Yep, go down to right. And so the thing, your horizontal line, when you draw it, you should be able to see at least 2 or 3 points on that intersect with your line to let you know that it is serving as a support or resistance area.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it should be closer to the highs or closer to the lows. Right now, in the case where you have that third line down, it's in the middle. So, you don't have any choice but to get it because you're in the middle, but it does show some previous support and resistance on those points we talked about for that line specifically. Okay. So do me a favor again, go back to your 211 line and then go ahead and do the Alt H. Now, where you have the D up to where it says mankind in the upper left-hand corner, click on that D for me.
Which
No,
one?
upper left-hand corner. Upper left-hand corner.
Upper left. Oh, right here.
Yeah. All right, click on the D. All right, now what you can do is you can use different scroll down in there. So the D just stands for your time. So you can so click on the D and you see that where the I'm sorry, not the D, but the star to the right of 1 day. Click on the star of 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Yep. Okay. All right, now you can click away. And what that does, it gives you those options to move in between up to where the D is, to where you clicked on initially. So now go to 1 week. Mm-hmm. So now so it allows you just to switch back and forth pretty easily, right? Okay. But now look at how your lines on your daily that compares between your weekly, right? So your monthly, you can just see that all of those are very tight together. But if you look toggle between your dailies and your weeklies, now you can see how some of those support lines shows previous support and resistance areas that could have. So take for instance, if you go to 2019, probably around March. Mm-hmm. Okay, you see that point where keep going forward. Well, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, so you see how that line was going up, and it got to that support point. Move your mouse straight up, right there. How it got to that resistance area, and then it failed. It wasn't arbitrary. Where without the lines and out the context of a larger move, it looked like it was arbitrary. But it really wasn't when you look to your left and you have that benefit, right? But then now fast forward going to say August 2020, right? So keep going past the July, go over a little bit more, right? So you see that first point on that big red candle that went through and it failed, and then again on that red and green candle, 2 more to the right, where it got up there and failed again, and then it finally broke through it on that green candle that pierced it. But you see how that line served? So that line has been significant for, going back all the way back to 2016. You see what I mean? Just depending upon where you were on the chart. And so always think of the chart. When you look at something to your left in the chart, you don't have anything to the right of where the point you're looking at. So you're having to make a decision at that point about what the future says. You see what I mean? But when you look back, you can look back and it gives you some context around. So even if you go to the very end of the chart, 2021, and where you are today in those last 2 day moves, you can see that it's not arbitrary, right? Because it goes all the way back to 2018, and that was an error. And so think about it like this as well. The charts are not just charts, but again, you got to remember what they are. They're price points that people have bought and sold at a level. So what that just says is that you got a history of people that have bought and sold at this 295 level, and they tried to break up through this 295 level back in February of 18, and they had trouble getting through it. I said February, but I mean just around whatever that is, 2018. Back where you were to the right. Yeah, you keep going to the right. Yeah, had trouble breaking through there to try to get back above there, and it didn't sustain. And so you were in a downtrend from that point all the way to that following July.
That makes sense.
You see what I mean? But having that data, you can say, you know what, we got up here last time. So now let's bring all of this kind of back into today's context, right? So if you say, well, given what I've seen before, I'm probably going to have some trouble at this 316 area, because back in 2018, we had trouble at this 16 area. Now, if you can get maybe 2 or 3 closes above that 2 at that 316 area, now it might start to show that either it's going to go sideways and consolidate for a while, or it may have a breakout and try to run to the upside. But it gives you that context. So the question becomes now, given where we are today, seeing where we are in terms of the chart, seeing where we are in terms of the broader market, would you feel more confident or less confident making a entry to purchase stock? Or let's say, so that's the first question. Second question would be, if you own the stock already and you say, hey, would this be an area that I need to consider taking profits on? What does the chart speak to you and tell you about each of those answers, or questions, should I say?
Okay, that makes sense. So what I'm seeing, if we're going, I guess, by just 2018 standard, is that since it's already around the 298 price point, it may not go above 3. If it does, it'll stay for like a hot second, drop again. So if, like, I only own the share for this one, so if I want to go ahead and take my profits, I would probably take it around, once it maybe get above the 3, take the profit, and then I know that it's going to more than likely drop again to like the $2-ish range, and then maybe scale my position to where I would buy some more at that range, and then wait until it goes back up to 3-ish. If I'm predicting this correctly based off what I'm seeing from the back end.
Okay. No, that's good point. But that's the kind of thing that you want to look at the charts and start asking yourself about, what should I do at this point, and does it call for me to make a decision now or not? So
it makes sense.
Yeah. So that's it. So now let's go back to the daily. Okay. So you can see now, so even when we zoom in more to this daily chart, you can see, okay, over the last, I guess month, we've been in an extreme uptrend, right? So to me, that's just a lot of, so if you say from 212 to 299, that's a big move. That's a big percentage move on that. So you're talking 29 cent is 10%. Every 29 cent is 10%. So you're up to like 298. So you're talking 330. So you're talking 90 cent, almost 90 cent. So you're up 30%, right? That's a huge move. A 30% move is tremendous, right? And done within a month, right? So, you'll have to take all of that into account. And so there, now go back to your weekly. So given that, I would draw a horizontal line kind of at that 330, go down to where it intersects with close toward the top of those two. Yep, about right there. I would draw that at that 316. I'll do an all H there, because that's my upper range that, that's the next area that I need to break through. That's serving as resistance. So
that makes sense, because that's where I was at before, back in 2018. Then they didn't break through it successfully. So that's why I went down.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So so that's good. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, now go to your other chart.
Other chart.
But actually, do me a favor before you do that. Go back to your daily there. Let's see. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, good part of charting here. Just but do you see how going through these, and now, so as you start to look at your watch list weekly, daily, I don't know how often you look at these, but as you build your watch list out and you start looking at these, now you just want to use these markers as a means of saying, okay, hey, where am I on the chart right now? What is the stock doing? What's the overall market doing? Now it can help you in making your decisions.
Mhm. Yes, because that's what I'm really going to be looking at is like looking at the past to try to project the future for the stocks I'm trying to get into or I'm already in right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Scale and position, whether to get out, get back in with more or less.
Mhm.
So yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. All right. Take a look at let's see. Go to your AMC.
So,
All right. So if you need to make any adjustments there, make them, and we'll talk about them real quick. I gotta text somebody real quick. 1 second. All right. Okay. So yeah, looking at your support resistance lines.
mhm.
Yeah. I would that 1596. I would move that one up a little bit to the top of that red point. Yeah. Yeah, what you can do is you should be able to just click on it on the anchor point and then just move it. So, like,
there you go. Move it
down to where that point right there, that tippy top point to the left of your mouse, of your hand, with that red. Just keep going. Yep, right there.
Right there.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, the $17.
Yep, to that 17. And the reason for that, look at that candle that I'm moving it to, right? It's that red candle there that I'm looking at. Yeah. And you can see how now it's you can see that when you go far left there, right, you can see that red candle to the right of that, just to the right, that it pierced it just a little bit, and then you go over a little farther and you see where it pierces again with those 3 or 4 candles. Yep. And so you're in that general area. And so sometimes it's subjective in terms of where you will put the line, but overall you are in the area, right? That shows that in that area it served as resistance, 3 prior times. So,
right.
Yep.
Sense. I was just looking at AMC, just seeing that it's been more so on a downward trend.
Oh no! Now trend wise, you're absolutely right. So you make a really good deal. So go back to your daily. Think because you got to put this in context too.
Right.
So when you think about what has happened, so what happened in March, and everybody know, right?
First COVID, and then
COVID, right?
AMC, so no one's going to the movies and stuff.
Right. Nobody's going to the movies, but in early May, there was a huge rush to people thinking that this thing was going to turn around, and it was a big run off the $2 lows, all the way, I said May, but April actually, all the way up from two. No, keep going back to your left. Keep going back. No, all the way down. All the way down. No, to the because right there. You see those candles down there? Yeah. So so it's all the way from April 15th and even the 13th, all the way up to where that red bar is in the tippy top. Keep going all the way up. No. The highest red bar there. Yep. To June 10th. So that was a huge run from $2 to $7.22. That was a 3x, right? That's huge. 3.5. But you see that retracement. So go back down. It went all the way back down to 339, which is a good support area. Only thing on your support area, I would have drew it I would have drew it right there.
Right here.
Yep. And then it ran back up to that same that same $7 area, back up the top there.
Yeah.
And it was a flush all the way back down.
Yeah.
To almost 2, right? So you can see there, your 212 level is good. Your 390 level is great. Your $5 level is good, and your $7 level is good. And so if I were to say so if you say from March to October, okay, well, let's do it this way. We break it up. So from March to, say, April, the beginning of April, what was the trend?
So from March to April, basically, it was like $7 level, drop all the way down to $2 level.
Right. So you got it. So there's a huge downtrend.
Right.
And then you had an extreme reversal from where to where?
From the April-ish to the June.
Yep. And then this cycle just goes halfway back down to June and back up again. And so when you see that kind of stuff that's occurring in the area, it's just up and down, up and down, up and down. And in things like this, so if you scroll to the right, just click your mouse and scroll to the right to give yourself a little bit more real estate to the right. Okay, so we see we're currently at the 398 or whatever, $4 area. In context to what the chart is showing you, where would you say you would do with this information? If you don't own the stock, what would you do based upon what the chart is telling you?
If I didn't own the stock,
if you did own it.
Well, since I technically do own it, but
you do. I'm sorry, you do own it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I own like a share, but since I technically do own the stock, because it went down 7 to 2, and then it's going back up now, and it's in the $3 range. If I wanted to, I would feel like it's going to go back up again, do a little trend since it looks like it's going on the uptrend, even though it's kind of going up and down in like a zigzag right now.
Right.
So it's probably going up. So where it possibly into the new year, it might hit the $7 range again. And then like if I wanted to buy some more stock, I'll probably buy it now. And then once it hit that $7 range, hopefully I'll go ahead and sell it, since it looks like once it hits that range, it goes back down to the $2 range.
Okay. Hey, what's up, cuz? I see you join.
Hey, what's up, cuz?
How you doing, man?
Everything good.
Good.
Hold on. What's up, Christian?
What's up?
Good. I like how that sounds with them trends.
Oh,
I like that sound.
I'm trying.
He doing it. He doing it.
He learning.
Yeah. So, but no, that's good analysis, Christian. So, all I would tell you now, man, get some more skin in the game. If you got some cash you can throw at this market, because it's good to be practicing with the one share of each, but you're gonna have to level it up a little bit to get you some more skin in the game. But your analysis is spot on. So it doesn't even matter if you got one share, if you got 1,000 shares of these, right?
Right.
Your analysis is just your analysis, right? The amount of what you own doesn't change what you see and how you view these. So it it shouldn't. It should
Right.
it should be objective, but sometimes human nature gets involved. But no, but good stuff, man. Good stuff. I appreciate that. So Kyle, you got are you on your iPad or are you on the phone?
I'm actually on my phone trying to eat some dinner.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
So
Do you have?
have what?
No, I was just gonna say, do you have any? Because I'll let Christian just put in a couple of your ticker symbols there, and we can look at some of your charts.
Only let me see. Let's see. What do I have? Look up Grubhub.
Okay, so don't put it there, Christian. Go to the left. Cancel out of there. Go to the left where you got AMC, and on the far left. No, on the far left. Yep, there you go. And you can type it in there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. GRUB. That's one of my good stocks.
All right. So, Kyle, I want you to talk Christian through putting your support and resistance lines on your chart.
Okay. Well, let me see. I can barely see. Okay, so I bought this stock, Christian, somewhere around $44 per share.
44, like around here.
44. Yep. So I bought it around there.
Okay.
So I've been riding it ever since.
Yeah.
So my support there. I actually bought this on an uptrend.
Mm-hmm.
That was my analysis, because I missed support that happened in between. Is it between March and April? Yes, I missed that big bounce between March and April. Everything went down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I bought it on an uptrend.
Right.
Okay, so that's support right there where you at.
Okay.
Kind of a minor support. And it's been riding it up the whole time. Now you can have a little bit of resistance at the top, probably about let me see if I can see. About September. Got a little bit of resistance at September. Go over to your left. Go over to your left. Over to your left. Yeah, go at the top of that. Right there.
Right here.
Got a little bit of resistance right there. But I just rode it the whole way. I ain't trying to sell it. If I'd have sold it, I'd have sold it there.
Yeah.
I only had a couple of shares. So I just kept riding it. Now, when it came down to right there, that support right there, I should have bought 2 more shares. But I didn't. I just kept riding it. Now, if you go all the way across, like now is that support again. I should start buying 2 more now. This is at support now.
Right.
So maybe Monday I might buy 2 more shares.
That's good. Good stuff, Kyle. Good stuff. Yeah. I agree with all of what you had him doing in terms of your support resistance there. I would have probably thrown one in probably at that $53 level. Yep. That down just a little bit, Christian, to the bottom of those. Yep. I probably would threw one in right there.
I should have bought some more right there.
Yep. But other than that, no, that was good stuff, man. That's good stuff. It. I mean, man, guys, y'all are reading these charts the right way, and they're giving you information, and you're able to sort this stuff out and to see it. And I'm telling you, this gives you a little bit better edge. Now, it's not exact. You're gonna put some stuff on the charts, and it's gonna go against you. And so, we're gonna talk about at some point putting in stops and stuff like that. But just reading these charts, y'all are reading them, fabulously, man. And I tell you, having this exercise where you go through and you look at your charts, and particularly when you already have them, your support and resistance lines on there, you can just go through them, just look at them. Okay, is it a support? Is that a support? Is that a resistance? Is there anything I need to do? Or is it showing me a sign that I need to buy if I don't own it? Or is it showing me a sign that I need to sell? And I tell you, the longer you hold these stocks and you watch them, you're gonna start to know where your buy and sell prices are because you've been watching them for a while and you've just become intimately familiar with them. So
Yeah.
give me 1 second. I gotta answer the door. I'll be right back. Y'all can keep going.
Yeah, that's it, Christian. I also something I look at when I look at a chart, or if I look at a stock, I look at the 52-week high.
Oh, 52-week high?
I look at the 52-week high. So if I bought it at 42, 44, and it says 52-week high is like 60, I know it got room to grow. So I know historically it's been there before.
Right.
So I'm gonna get back in. I'm just gonna let it ride. Now, like I said, the mistake I made before was when to find another support level to buy some more shares. Because all I bought was 2 shares. I should have bought more. But I was building my portfolio, so I had other stocks in other places at the time.
Right.
And this actually, this is one of my best moving stocks. Now I was at the point where it's coming down, and I'm looking for another support level to buy some more. Shares are king. I'm not trying to be a day trader or trying to get in, get out, all that mess. I like it better when I do long term. Trying to build up in the shares, trying to have your money working for you.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, it's wonderful, man. Like I said, once you keep learning, keep practicing, and be around the right people, don't be scared, and don't panic when your stock go down.
Right.
You gonna sell it, and the thing gonna go down $5 one day, go up 6 the next day. You done panic. Now you trying to buy it back. You trying to buy it back.
Right, I'm looking at that now with just the 2 stocks I own and AMC and that Mankind Corporation. So I've been going up and down the last 2 weeks. So
okay. So why are you choosing these low price stocks?
Well, these 2, Robinhood, since I sounded dumb, they just gave it to me because to me, and then AMC, I had referred someone to get on Robinhood, and they gave me another free stock. So that's the only reason I own those. Just a share each. So
that's how you get started. You see, they ain't give you no Apple.
Of course not. Why they give me Apple at 122? That's not gonna happen.
They ain't gonna give you no Apple for some free stock.
Not free. That's not happening.
So when you put some money in your account for real, how much you gonna put in?
I want to try to start at 100.
That's a good starting price.
Go from there, to be honest.
So when you put 100 in there, you're gonna buy some. Well, I wouldn't recommend buying some AMC, but if you do, you can't buy no 2 and 3 shares. You got to buy some shares at that price.
Right.
But that's not alone. Now, only way you would buy AMC is if you really think, okay, well, one day coronavirus is gonna be gone and people are gonna be going to movies again.
Right.
That's the only way you would even want to get into the stock. If you go to movies a lot before the coronavirus, then that'd be something you might look at. But there's so many stocks out there.
Right.
You gotta find something. Find something that's gonna be around, something that's moving. But the main thing is trying to figure out what kind of investor are you gonna be an investor or a trader?
Long term
That's the key.
Investor, but I'm probably thinking I'm gonna have to do some trading to get quick profits, depending on what stocks I'm looking at. But I'm more
have time to look at the charts. I have time to be on the market between 9:30 and 4 o'clock.
Depending on what's going on during the week.
That's the key.
That's gonna be.
That's one of the things that make you become a trader or an investor, what kind of job you have, what shift you work.
Right.
You got access to a computer. You're gonna be trading off the phone. That's the kind of stuff that you have to factor in.
That's true. I am always on the computer.
Right. So that's one of the things. So I tried to be a trader back in the day, and I just found it kind of boring to be looking at the charts, looking at the market going up and down, all that crazy stuff. Because you don't see your stock up $2 and then down $4 within a half hour. You gonna panic.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So
You gonna panic. And panicking off $100 account ain't really saying much. But if that's the last little $100 you got, you trying to grow it, then
right.
it's important $100. And not panic. Let me see. Look up another stock.
Mm-hmm.
I messed up on this one. Look up. What's another good stock? Look up. I'm gonna retire. Look up Cake. CAKE. Cheesecake Factory.
Huh.
That's one of my good stocks. I think I bought this. I saw this stock. I was helping some of my friends, some of my business partners get started, and I had Cheesecake Factory in my watch list. And I saw it at about, it might have been $14 to $15. This might have been around March, April. Yep, around there I saw it. And I watched it. It was in my watch list. I watched it. I should have bought it then.
Right.
But me watching it, I watched it go all the way up to like maybe $19, $18. That's when I got in.
Okay. So like around here-ish.
And I've been riding it ever since. Now, is that an upward trend or what?
Definitely an upward trend. Even when
upward trend. Yeah.
Price, that's still good.
So I've been riding it, right? So it's in 30 something now. Mm-hmm. So when I look at the 52-week high, whatever the 52-week high is, it still got room to grow. So what I should be doing is selling it or try to buy some more if it's long term.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta figure that out. So the way the system is, okay, let's say I bought some shares at $20, and the thing went all the way up to 40, and it's still moving up.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to buy some more shares at 40, the account is going to divide the difference, and the stock is gonna be worth $30 per share. That's how that works. So if you think, oh man, I wish I bought some more at 20, okay, and it's all the way up to 40, it is double, but it's still moving. I missed my opportunity to get it at 20. Like, yeah, but if you buy it at 40, you buy some more at 40 versus what you bought at 20, it's gonna come across as 30, like you bought them at 30. That's how that works. So don't be afraid to buy some more at a higher price or a lower price. It's gonna average it out on your brokerage account.
Okay.
And for years I didn't know that. I thought I missed my opportunity. I just left it alone. So everything you can't catch right at support like that, and you got a good run.
Right.
So you might, if you see that momentum and you see it, if you see that 52-week high is a good amount above. If you see that the things is rolling, the news is good, buy some more.
So guys,
you can't be afraid. Yep, welcome back.
Yes, sir. So where would I've been listening. Good commentary. Where would you mark this chart up, Kyle, in terms of support resistance?
Resistance? I got resistance. Let me see. Got a few resistance. Let's see. That's a good resistance right there. Where the arrow is, right? Where that plus sign is, right? That's the resistance right there. We got a resistance now that's probably at about what is this, 40, about 40 right there. That's the resistance, so it's coming down. So if I buy some more, if I decide to buy some more, I gotta find me another support. So for now, I'm just letting it ride.
So are there any support points between the 19 area and that 35 area?
I see a semi-support about, what is this, about 37? About 30, yeah, 37 around November or something. About right, yeah, about right there. That's the support. You know, I've been letting it ride for so long. I done bought it so cheap. I bought this at 18, 19, and I should have bought it when I saw it at 14, and it took off on me. And so I like, let me get on it. I caught that upward trend again, and I rode it up ever since.
Now do me a favor, go to your weekly for that. Let's see if we see anything else in there. Okay. And so I would always encourage you all to look at a longer time frame than just the daily, and sometimes even look at a shorter time frame than the daily, maybe a 4-hour chart.
I don't even look at the daily. Only time I look at the daily is when I'm trying to get in. Usually when I determine I'm gonna buy a stock, I look at the 6-month chart.
6 month? Okay.
Because I'm long term.
All right. So where would you put any more support or resistance lines on this chart for the weekly?
Chart look good for weekly. Definitely a lot of resistance I see in the past.
In the past. I'm talking about in the past.
On the past, like right there where your arrow is at now, that's the resistance. So I guess around 40. That 40. I'm trying to read these numbers. I'm on my phone. Is that 50?
Yes, 50. Yeah. So one thing I would tell y'all to look at where you see highs and where you see lows. So it should be like peaks and valleys. So if you see a extreme peak or extreme valley, those are indications. So actually, right there, Christian, draw that one right there, because you can see that going all the way back to the beginning of that chart, it serves as support. And then coming to that next area, it tried to hold that support. It didn't hold it. No, back right there. It tried to hold that support. It went down to that lower level support line below you. Then it came back up to that where that was previous support. Now that all of that is resistance until it breaks through. But that every probably those 20 bars to the left of where you got your mouse, all of that served as go back to your right. Just in that little area. Go back about 5. Yeah. So all them little bars, just keep slowly moving your mouse to the left. Yep, until stop. All of that in there, in that little area, up until that green bar that went up and it actually broke through and stayed above, where that was previous support when it came to the downside. Once it's trying to break through it from the upside, it's resistance. So you can see how that vertical bar at that $50 level just showed you there's some resistance there, and it trended sideways for, I don't know, looked like maybe a month or so. And then it finally broke out on that green bar. And then you can see probably 6 or 7 bars over, it came back and retested it on that next green bar. No, down, no, to your left, right there. It tested it again, after it got above it, it pierced it just a bit, but it held, and then you was off to the races up to 60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but on that long red bar, you had a huge pullback from 60 back down to that same area. So you see how that one line has been points of reversal from the top to the bottom, 6 or 7 times. You know what I mean? So when you see something like that, that is a major support area or resistance area, depending upon if you're approaching it from the top or the bottom. And the only other place I would probably draw is, say, 43. So look at that peak, that down bar right in there. Yep, right somewhere in there. And so you could, if you went a little lower, that'd have been fine. If you'd have went a little higher, that'd have been fine. But right in there is good, because you can see that area just to the left of your mouse is an area. You can see farther over to the left where that red candle touches it, probably, move it over back to 2018. And then you can go all the way far right to, say, middle of 2020. Yep, right there. So you see that one area again, several areas on that chart that support, that line became support or resistance, just depending upon where you are. And then where your mouse is, if you scroll to the right just a little bit, you'll see right there, that was right before the flush in COVID flush, right?
Yeah.
And then you establish, go ahead, Kyle.
So looking at this chart, I'm gonna buy some more shares because we got room to grow. And this will look like a nice upward trend. And this is even during coronavirus. So when everything really gets, Cheesecake Factory is kind of relying on takeout right now.
Right.
Yeah.
They're staying open.
Yeah.
But they still always stay busy.
Even on takeout?
Oh yeah, Cheesecake Factory. Oh yeah.
Yes.
I haven't been over there since the corona started, so I have no idea how well they've been doing.
Oh yeah. And they still got people coming in there. They just got everybody spread out pretty good.
Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they promoting takeout and everything. You get a free piece of cheesecake and everything, all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's a good restaurant that's not going anywhere. So you invest in the company, but you got to look at the history of it. So according to this chart I'm looking at right now, it didn't hit support. It didn't hit support like at the beginning of the year, and it just bouncing straight on up. It's going right at a nice upward trend. Because the 52-week high is probably look like 60 something.
Okay.
Still got room to grow.
Yeah.
Yep. All I have is 2 shares. I've been riding it all this time and didn't really get a chance to get back in to buy some more shares. I just been riding it while I'm buying something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my best stocks.
Okay.
Cheesecake Factory.
Now, so y'all making good progress here. So let's talk about, because y'all have mentioned it a few times. So Christian, do me a favor, go to the far left and you see where you have the in the toolbar in the far left, click on that second icon.
Right here.
That's a trend icon, right? So what you can do is you can highlight it and you can draw one point and then angle it. And so we're going to talk about trend lines, upward trend lines and lower trend lines. So go to where that green bar is in July 2018, that peak. Yeah, keep going. Yep. All right. So click the button there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now move your mouse all the way over and draw that line where it intersects with going down, where it intersects with the top of that red line. No, go up a little higher, where it's just barely touching the top of that wick. No, where you were on that red line in the middle of July. Yeah, and then just keep that same slope and just extend it to the right.
So
Yep. You just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, now make sure that it still stays on that red line that you had used at a reference point. So just drop it right there. All right, now let go. So that's a trend line. And what it does, you draw trend lines when they're going down from the top. You draw trend lines on going up on the bottom. So now click on that trend line again, icon. Now go to the bottom of the March 2020, and then you're gonna draw that trend line from there, identifying a point on one of those candles. And you're gonna try to draw it as vertical as you can, but still keeping the nature of those lines. Yeah, keep going up, keep going up. So probably right there. Okay, you can stop, Now, let go. Now just slide it to the right a bit to where you can get, to the right. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going to where you want it to touch a few of the lines on the bottom. There we go. No, the wicks. Yep, keep going to the right. Yep, there you go. And now just angle the bottom of that piece and just pull it in to your left a little bit. So click on the anchor. No, just click on the anchor. Yep, and then just pull it in a little bit. There you go. So you can see how every time it gets to that trend line, it kind of respects that trend line and it continues to go. So you don't really have much to the left of this chart after that huge Corona pull down. So if you're trying to figure out, man, should I be selling here or not? If you can see this trend developing and you draw that trend line up, it gives you a reference point in order to be able to say, hey, should I stay in it or should I sell? Because you don't have much horizontal support to the left or to the right to make decisions about. Does that help?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can do that on any trends that you see. So draw me. I'm gonna just ask you. There are a couple more trends on this chart. So either up trends or down trends, and I want you to draw those lines for me.
Here, this might be an uptrend.
Now, I would probably draw that one a little, because it was only good until about halfway. So I would have, but so you started it at the right position. I would just give it a little more slope to the right and catch the bottom of that. Yep. And then just extend it to the right, on up to where. So the thing about the trend is you keep extending it until the chart shows you that it's violated. So you want to have 2 points, at least 2 points that it touches the bottom of a candle, and you just extend it until it stops, until it breaks all the way through. So keep going, keep moving it up, keep the same angle, but just keep moving it to the right. So now it's violated at that point. You see where it broke through it and it stayed below it. So now just move your icon back down to that red candle. No, up, follow the trend line up. Keep going to the more right there, right? No, back down. Right there. You see where it broke in that area? Now it's violated the trend. So the trend is not valid anymore. You see what I mean? Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep. So these trend lines can help you too, because sometimes when these things get in a trending, so you'll hear this term at some point where people will say, if the market is trending up, meaning the overall market is trending, you want to be trading or buying when the market is trending up, and you either want to be protecting your gains or selling when the market is trending down. So the way that they kind of say that, pretty succinctly is, the trend is your friend, means trade with the market, not against the market. So yeah, but y'all doing real good there. Real good. So y'all got anything else y'all want to look at? But I think we did a good job in looking at support resistance. I'll continue to encourage y'all to build out your watch list, draw your trend lines, and then review your stocks. Try to review your the things that you're looking at once or twice a week. If you get, or even more if you're kind of geeking out on it. But as you come across new ideas, add them to your trend lines. Add them to your watch list, and then just go ahead and draw your support and resistance lines on there. Because as you start to go through those, and you already have these support and resistance lines, you can see if the stocks are obeying those support and resistance lines as well as trend lines on your charts. And again, this is just all data to help you make decisions around where you want to have your entries and your exits.
I agree.
Makes sense, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So I guess
Not rocket science, but you gotta have some patience. I was telling Christian, you gotta have almost like having a system. You gotta have a system that works. And you gotta figure out what your system is going to be. And just whatever your system's got to be, it has to work.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Have to work. Got to make some money. Got to make some profits, and got to make some wise decisions and stay away from all that emotion. You make some bad decisions when you bring all that emotion to the table.
Yeah, and so I would say for the homework for the week, I want you all to think about brands that you personally enjoy, that you either buy their service or you buy their products, and you're a loyal customer. I want you to look up to see if any of those companies are publicly traded. If so, add some of those tickers to your watch list, and then mark up the charts, and we'll discuss those next week.